Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you all about step 2 of the 3Ms method. So you may remember that step 1 is the mindset, and step 2 is method. So this is about designing a unique method that you use to get your clients the result that you get them in this online course, which makes you stand out from the marketplace. So the problem you face here is that most people who want to sell their services online would go onto like freelancer websites, or they would just go to social media and go to groups where other people are also trying to sell that particular service in that sector. The problem is the competition is very fierce and they end up all looking the same. Everyone looks identical and it looks like there's no difference between them. So the only thing people have to judge the different providers by is the price. It becomes a race to the bottom. You end up making almost no profit or the lowest amount that is tolerable, and getting basically in a situation where you have no power in the marketplace, you don't stand out, you're not unique, and you can't charge a decent rate, so you can't earn a decent living. So in order to fix this problem, you need to design a unique method so that you can say to potential customers, well, I use this method, these principles, which make me different. Here is how they're different. Here is the results we've gotten using them. And you can explain to them logically why your method works and why it's different to just anyone who's doing coaching or consulting or digital marketing or whatever your course is about. Okay, so I'll give you an example, right? So let's imagine that someone was running a course doing, let's say, digital marketing, for example. Okay, so what they would do is they would use this framework that I've laid out here, and they would divide up their method into 3 phases. So we've got phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And for each phase, you need to be able to answer these questions so that you understand what your method is, and then it's going to be used in all of the material you use to market your program, your course. So the questions are, what is it, right? So what is that phase? What does it mean? Why does it matter? So why? Why should you do it? How is it different? So how does it work? And how is it different to other providers or other methods, and who have we done it for? So who has used this? That's testimonials, examples of people who've gotten great results, right? So the first thing you do, though, before you begin this, is you need to work out what is the result that you get for your clients, right? Now, in the case of a digital marketing agency, the result's going to be something to do with generating leads. So it might be generate reliable leads at a low cost. Okay, that's something that a business would want, that a digital marketing agency could provide. So if, for example, you wanted to build an online course to sell your digital marketing knowledge, this would be the headline, the overall result, the big hook that gets people interested. But then you've got to divide that up into 3 steps. So this digital marketing course might take as the first phase creation. Okay, so this would mean creating. So what is it? Creation is creating, designing the copy, so the text you're going to use in an advertisement or an email, and video or images to use in marketing material. Okay, so it's designing the actual content you're going to put out there that's supposed to hook people and get their attention and get them to take action on what you want them to do. Why does it matter? Well, because this is how you, and also like this is how you got to think. Okay, so why do we have to be really creative? Why do we have to be like good at designing powerful content? Well, people are inundated with content, social media, etc. You just can't get away from all kinds of content that's distracting you. So they're highly distracted, and therefore messaging has to be different and creative to cut through the noise and stand out. And how is it different? Well, what you would say here is that most digital marketers use kind of cut and paste templates, and they copy what other people are doing because they think it's proven, but it's not personalized to each niche, and it's therefore also not interesting or different, so it doesn't stand out enough, right? And why? Okay, so why does that matter? Well, if it doesn't stand out, then you're going to get fewer clicks, fewer leads as a result, right? Okay, so this is really very simple because it's not something that's super unique, some really secret knowledge. What you're doing is taking ordinary knowledge that you have and you're just packaging it in a way that shows the value, that demonstrates the true value of that knowledge, rather than just saying, well, I do digital marketing, great, so do hundreds of other people. Okay, so who have you done it for? Well, this is just going to be testimonials. Now, if you're starting out, if you're new, you've got to maybe think a little bit creatively. Maybe you were, again, using this example, maybe if you were a digital marketer for a big company, then you could talk about the company's results that you helped to produce if it's not confidential. Maybe you've done a little bit of freelance work in this. Maybe you've actually marketed your own services, whatever. You need to think a little bit outside the box if you're starting out and you're new. But as you get your first few clients, you'll build testimonials up and then you'll be able to do this part much more easily. Okay, so in this imaginary example, phase 2 might be testing, right? So what is testing? Well, it is continually testing a range of copies and so they call them creatives in digital marketing if you're not in that space. It's basically a video or an image to find which one gets the cheapest leads, okay? Why does it matter? Well, it matters because marketing has to focus on the end result, and so just trying one thing or being satisfied with a good enough result is not effective, right? You don't want to just settle for, well, okay, it seems to just about work, it's just about profitable. You want to actually test a range of things to find the best way to speak to the marketplace. Okay, how is it different? Well, you could say most agencies just use, so we're making the same, this is like throwing rocks, right, at your competition. So the same kind of thing, you could say, well, most agencies just use so-called proven formulas rather than fully testing every way of communicating with your market. Who have we done it for? Again, that's going to be a testimonial. Okay, so feedback is the third stage in this imaginary method. So what is it? Well, what it is constantly listening to the market, and then you are reviewing the results at every stage of they call it the funnel if you're not in that space, right? So the funnel is like the journey from seeing the ad to clicking the link to putting in your details to booking a call, becoming a client, and going through that journey is called a funnel. It gets narrower at each stage because not everyone goes to the next stage. So you're reviewing the results, like what % of people click on the link, what % will put in the contact details, etc. So you're reviewing the results at every stage, and therefore you are constantly optimizing every stage, and it never stops, right? So this would be like your thing. Well, we are continually reiterating, changing, constantly changing, and being proactive based on what works best. Why does it matter? Well, because the market is always changing, so what works now may not work in a month's time. How is it different? Well, you could say that most agencies deliver a set of ads and then the job is over, right? And then the contract ends. So you have to go back to basics. You have to hire someone else or whatever to renew if the ads start working. But what we're going to do in this imaginary offer is we're going to be working with you. We work with you closely to ensure permanent results. So that's not just a one-time thing, but we're continually working with you to improve and refine and take action before things stop working, before problems arise. So who we've done it for? Well, again, that is testimonials. Okay, so like this person would then be able to go and build an online course based on these 3 steps: creation, testing, and feedback. CTF, they could call it, right? It's nice if you can make it into a if it spells out a word or something you can pronounce, that's good. If it's like alliteration, that's good, but it doesn't matter that much. So they have got a method, the CTF method. So they could say in their marketing something like, use the CTF method to get cheaper leads than you ever thought possible, right? So that is a more powerful message than this. We do digital marketing, right? Like, this is so much more compelling and interesting, and it's going to stand out in the marketplace and attract people because it's curiosity. Like, what is the CTF method? Obviously, you're mentioning the results, and you're not doing this, which is being a commodity, right? Where you look the same as everyone else. A commodity is like fuel, wood, bread. It's all the same. You know, it doesn't matter which barrel of petrol you're talking about. It's just a barrel of petrol. So the same thing, if you're a commodity in marketing or any professional sector, then it doesn't matter which marketer or which salesperson or which designer you are, you're just a designer, but you have to be unique, not just a member of a category, but you build a unique method so you can stand out and ultimately, therefore, command higher prices, which I'm going to talk about in the next stage, which is the market stage, where you actually promote and sell this course. So you've got the course mapped out, and this also allows you, by the way, to then understand how you're going to actually build the course. Now, I don't recommend building it until you've sold it, because there's no point in wasting your time. The course, the first attempt might not be right. The first course you design, no one would actually want. It's possible. And therefore, you're going to waste your time when you build it. Wait until the market proves you need to build it by buying it. Okay? But when you do come to buy it, then you would know what to do, right? Because you're going to have 3 steps. So you're going to go and you're going to have modules that cover these 3 steps. You're going to break down each of them into several sub-steps. You're going to make videos, PDFs, etc., based around those steps. So you know exactly what your course is going to involve. Okay, so in this example, by the way, like, just so it's all clear, this would be someone who maybe is teaching other people how to be better digital marketers. So that's what they're going to teach them. Like, you can use this CTF method to stand out. You get cheaper leads for your clients. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I hope that was helpful, right? I'm going to make another video where I will be talking about the 3rd step, which is the market steps. That's going to be about how you can run ads, how you can generate people who are interested, leads from those ads, and how you can sell the course to them and actually do this without using any high pressure or slimy tactics and actually feel good about the whole process. Okay, so yeah, I hope you're excited. And it's also about selling high ticket, so how you can actually add a lot of value so that you can charge higher prices. Okay, so I'll see you soon in the next video.